Well, I think we'll get started. Hello and welcome to our second virtual seminar of 2025. My name is Sarah Johnson. I'm the past president of Western Region Economic Development. And with me today is Leland Tong. He is our past president of Western Region Economic Development. So VED exists to facilitate and promote a vibrant and diversified economy and advocate for sustainable growth and development for Western North Dakota. One of the things we offer every year are these virtual seminars to educate and inform our members and the public on topics of particular interest in our region. I'm really excited and we're very lucky to have an excellent panel of experts. Our presentation today is Vantis, North Dakota's statewide UAS network. UAS is unmanned aircraft systems, which is something interesting in many ways, and I personally can't wait to hear more about it. I hope you feel the same. We are proud to say that this virtual seminar is sponsored by Train ND Northwest. So I'd like to thank them. Okay, so we'll introduce our presenters first. Today we have Greta Selesky. She is a skilled project consultant and specializing in business development and government relations for the Vantis system, North Dakota's unmanned aerial systems beyond visual line of sight network. With a strong background in stakeholder engagement and demand generation, Greta has successfully led initiatives in precision agriculture and healthcare logistics, including securing grants to advance UAS and AI technology applications. As part of the Thales USA team, Greta collaborates with public and private stakeholders to expand operational boundaries and develop the practical solutions for integrating advanced UAS capabilities. Next up we have with us is Hunter Hagel, who is a Vantis UAS operations lead for the Northern Plains UAS test site. Hunter is an accomplished UAS professional with a Bachelor's of Science degree in unmanned aircraft systems operations from the University of North Dakota. With over 700 hours of combined flight experience, he is a certified flight instructor and holds commercial airline SEL and MEL certifications with instrument rating. At Vantis UAS operations lead at the Northern Plains UAS test site, Hunter oversees the flight operations for the Vantis network, ensuring a seamless integration of UAS capabilities. He plays a pivotal role in facilitating the new BVLOS regulatory approvals, leveraging the Vantis network to drive innovation and expand operational boundaries within the UAS industry. Finally, also joining us is Kyle Jefferson. He is a partner engagement manager at the Northern Plains UAS test site. In his role, it is Kyle's responsibility to identify potential clients that can be assisted by the test site. This includes finding operators to fly on the Vantis network. Having worked in the customer service and sales industry for over 10 years, Kyle has proven a track record of relationship building as well as ensuring that customers receive the best possible experience. So we will go ahead with their presentation. We were just joined by our Mayor Klug. So welcome him. A couple of housekeeping notes. Please make sure that your microphones are on mute. And if you have questions during the presentation, you can just post them in the chat. When we're all finished presenting, we will read any questions in the chat first and then open it up to questions aloud, and you can turn on your mic. So I will now turn it over to our panel.
Perfect. So let's just start with the basics. Vantis is North Dakota's statewide infrastructure for unmanned aircraft systems, or drones. We like to think of it as a highway system in the sky designed to let drones safely travel beyond what the pilot can actually see. So when we say BVLOS, or beyond visual line of sight, that's what we're referring to. It's flying further than what the pilot can actually see. So this isn't just about flying drones, it's also about using drones to make your work easier, safer, more efficient, whether you're agriculture, oil, gas, healthcare, restaurant owner. Pop it over a little bit to Kyle to just talk about what the Northern Plains UAS test site is and how then how myself at Talus kind of fits into the role and what that means for the program known as Vantis. So maybe Kyle, if you want to speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Northern Plains UAS test site, we are one of the 7 FAA supported test sites in the country. We are a government agency or a government uh, entity under the Commerce Department. We're also housed at the University of North Dakota. Our biggest function is just to help anybody that's using a UAS drone for commercial use, helping them get through all the regulatory process, as well as assisting them to make sure that everything that they have is functioning as it should.
Yeah, so about 3.5, maybe 4 years ago now, the Northern Plains UAS test site, along with the state, decided that they wanted to make this a focus and a program solely for Vantis. So Talus was down selected as the system integrator. So we've partnered on this project, and that's why I'm here, not representing this as a state employee, but as a third party, helping to enable the test site to provide services for beyond visual line of sight. So I think we can go to the next one. So I like to explain it as the test site is the entity, Vantis is the program that is under the test site. So I just want to make that clear as well. Okay, so like I said earlier, the Vantis network within the Vantis network is really an infrastructure component for the full state of North Dakota. So when we talk about beyond visual line of sight, what is currently needed for that? And we have a couple different components, and maybe Hunter, do you want to talk on this piece quick?
Yeah, I can do that. So what Greta was alluding to, we pretty much have 4 main pillars of what makes up the Vantis system. First one is going to be the remote infrastructure. So that's going to be our surveillance and our C2 radios that we have out west and slowly moving out east. Right now we have 3 Terma radars that are spinning constantly in McKenzie County and in Williston. And then we also have, I think, about 9 C2 radios on shared use towers out there that allow these drones to travel long distances, making up that BVLOS network. As for the backhaul data network, that's brought to you by StageNet. So again, pretty much fiber optic cables that gives high reliability and low latency to scale these operations at a lower cost. Next, we have the UAS itself. This is pretty much going to be made of that private and public entities that want to use our system. Right now, we have a couple that are already operating on the eastern and western side of the state that utilize our system. And then to tie everything together to fully capitalize on it, we have the Mission and Network Operations Center. That's where we have our safety checks in place, and that's housed in Grand Forks. That's going to be the heartbeat in our center of operations when conducting any BVLOS or visual line of sight flights across the state. Go ahead to the next one.
Yeah, so as Hunter alluded to, we have radar coverage and C2 coverage. We have what then is called the surveillance volume right in your guys' area, which is fantastic. So that was installed and it's activated. It's up and running every day. We keep full control over that, and not control, I shouldn't say. What's the word? We monitor this network of infrastructure over on the eastern side of the state, over in Grand Forks, located at the Grand Sky Business Park. In the blue, you'll see that's where our service volumes are currently. The one in Grand Forks will be up and running here this spring. So we're excited that we are expanding out. I think you can maybe go to the next slide.
Yep, so this is pretty much showing the infrastructure that we have out west and at the MNOC. So on the left-hand picture, that's the inside of our MNOC. It's our operations center. All those screens depict all the different functions that the service is providing. So we have a mission planning system for pilots that want to come in. They make a area where they want to fly that's submitted through the internet to our MNOC, where they are approved by our mission manager and network manager. Again, that's just another check and balance that we have to make sure that the operation is going to be safe. The one below it, that's our flight crew HMI. That's going to depict surveillance throughout the whole state or wherever our sensors are. That's going to help the pilot with airspace awareness and to pick out different traffic, whether it be manned or sometimes other drone operations within the vicinity of where they're flying. The traffic manager display, again, that's where they're going to approve this mission set that the pilot's going to send in on the top left screen. And then the other ones, on the top right, we have the monitoring controlling. That's where our network manager monitors the health of the system. If anything were to go down, the network manager would alert the mission manager and said pilot in the field, where they would cease the operation and try to troubleshoot the issue. The other screens are utilized usually for communications and or weather to help give a better picture of the operation and for archive purposes. On the right-hand side, those pretty much depict the infrastructure or the equipment that we utilize out west. We have a mixture of medium and short-range radars that fully help depict the picture of airspace coverage in and around the area. We also use ADS-B ping stations. That's going to allow for cooperative manned traffic that are broadcasting. The reason for the radars is for those uncooperative traffics that ADS-B can't pick up. So that's going to improve the safety case for different UAS operations in the rural area, because there's a lot of manned traffic that isn't broadcasting these. So it's going to help depict a whole airspace awareness instead of just cooperative traffic. And then again, on the bottom, you have the remote pilot traffic HMI. Again, that's pretty much just showing all the traffic that's a combination of ADS-B and the radars.
And then, so the bottom picture, that remote pilot traffic HMI, with human machine interface, we also call that our electronic observer when all these components come together. So just to make it easier to digest, because this is a lot of information, the electronic observer then replaces the pilot having to see their aircraft, actually visually with their eyes. That they can use this electronic observer in lieu of that. We could probably hit the next slide, and we have a quick video that just kind of shows a tour of the MNOC, the Mission Network Operations Center out in Grand Forks at Grand Sky.
Welcome to the Grand Sky Aviation and Business Park. I'm just outside Grand Forks, North Dakota, visiting the Vantis Mission Network and Operations Center, or the MNOC. I'm here to get a tour and learn more about the Vantis MNOC from the experts themselves. Let's go. Hi, G. So I just made it through the security checkpoint outside, but tell me about some of the other security protocols in place to help keep the MNOC secure.
So, in addition to the security checkpoint outside, we control access to the MNOC facility as well as sensitive areas like the operations room, server room, and integration lab. All personnel must badge in using the key fob. Finally, we maintain MNOC's standard operating procedures for detailed access control policies.
Wow, so this is the operations room where the magic really happens, right?
That's right, and I'm going to leave you here with Stefan to continue the tour.
Stefan is the mission manager. He makes sure that the services are up and running. He also has direct contact with the network manager and support staff to help troubleshoot if needed. Hi, Stefan. So what's going on here?
This is the heart of Vantis. From the operations room, we monitor and control the system. This lets us coordinate safe and repeatable beyond visual line of sight drone operations. These screens display the status of Vantis in real time.
First is the operations display. An operator in the field plans missions and relays their operational intent volume, or where they want to fly, to the mission manager. This is how the operator connects to Vantis. Next, the Mission Manager display is for reviewing operator missions, verifying operational intent volumes, monitoring active flights, and monitoring all aircraft traffic, both cooperative and non-cooperative. The Monitor and Control display allows the Network Manager to monitor the health and status of Vantis physical and cloud infrastructure in real time. Here, the Flight Crew display provides situational awareness to operators in the field. Operators can monitor their flights, other aircraft traffic, the status of the network, and other system components. I joined back up with G to continue the tour.
So what really sets Vantis apart is the processes and procedures that manage the system, like safety risk assessment and incident reporting. These elements combined with aviation-grade technology to form an ultra-robust service that maintains the safety of the national airspace system. Here's the integration lab, where we provide operators with access to tools for maintaining and modifying their aircraft systems, like Doug here is doing.
Hey, Doug, so what do we got here?
We're just finishing some connectivity tests so we can connect with the Vantis network, which is an integral part of beyond visual line of sight activities, which is a big part of our business moving forward.
A lot goes into BVLOS integration here in North Dakota. To wrap up my tour, I sat down with Aaron, Deputy Executive Director, to learn more. Aaron, Vantis received FAA approval for BVLOS flights. What does that mean?
It means Vantis satisfies FAA standards for performance and safety. That facilitates smoother BVLOS operations for industry.
And why is that important?
Because Vantis can be a reference for operators who want to streamline their BVLOS waivers and exemptions.
And what does that mean?
We designed Vantis for shared use and widespread adoption, and it works.
Thanks for joining me on my tour of the Vantis MNOC in North Dakota, where the sky is truly the limit.
So even though we would love you all to travel out all the way across what I like to, it feels like the world, to come to the eastern side of the state, we put that video together so you didn't have to drive all the way over here. But it's a pretty fantastic space, and a lot goes into it. There's, whether it's security or whatnot, to make sure that we can monitor these operations effectively and efficiently, as well as the actual infrastructure. But so now, how does this align with some of your guys' economic drivers? For oil and gas, drones can help with tasks like inspecting infrastructure, detecting leaks, and improving operational safety, all without putting workers in risky situations, and also sometimes even potentially having to not having to employ additional employees as well. So this can actually help with that workforce piece. When it comes to linear inspections, we think of railroads, pipelines, or even electrical utilities. I think we have a slide later on from Hunter, and he can touch a little bit about how we're already currently doing some of these things in your area, or not us specifically, but operators are currently doing this. Healthcare drones can support medical deliveries in remote areas, ensuring faster and more reliable access to critical healthcare needs. We always like to say that in North Dakota, we don't have a last mile problem, we have a 100-mile problem. A lot of our areas, they're regional hospital systems. So we see a huge benefit with UAS in this sector as well. For agriculture, drones offer precision monitoring of crops and livestock, as well as pest management tools and looking for weeds. I see we have a weed control director on as well. So I was going to add a slide. You know, we've even worked with the North Dakota Department of Agriculture to fly some fields looking for invasive weed species called Palmer amaranth. Hope I said that right. And we see a huge economic benefit in that, because if we can reduce those invasive weeds or be able to mitigate them early, it really shows on the farmer's end of being able to have that better yield and protect that yield and food security for not only North Dakotans, but the whole nation. So, and finally, site surveys, security, public safety, there's so many different uses that add to that economic impact piece for the region. Probably go to the next slide.
And then, yeah, just to give a quick example of what we've been able to do with our system after we've gotten FAA approval. That was the pretty much long hurdle in this whole process. We found the equipment, we found the necessary partner with Thales and some other folks too, but we were really leaning on the FAA to grant us these approvals. This approval came last year. We went from about a 2.5-year period of our first approval to a more streamlined approval in about a verbal approval in about 2 months. It actually took a little bit longer just due to some paperwork. But our first actual BVLOS flight on the system took place last year. It was with Eyesight Drone Company. Their mission was linear road inspections. And with that bird that you see right there, they had a total distance traveled of about 500 miles, and they were up in the air for almost 10 hours. Again, this was able to happen due to the radar and the surveillance that we have out there, and then with the test sites going through the approval process and helping them show that the safety mitigations are in place to do these more advanced operations and take them those longer distances.
So yeah, I touched a little bit of, oh wait, I guess I could let Kyle go. I guess you can talk to these ones if you'd like.
Yeah, then there's just a slide to kind of discuss how we can enhance business efficiency and then growth within the community. With the system, we can have some increased safety, minimizing risks in hazardous environments. Like Greta said earlier, not having to send a person into any type of hazardous or dangerous situation. You can utilize the BVLOS with your UAS. There's operational excellence. We have real-time data that we can present for you to help with better decision making. The impact on the community, obviously some job creations, increased commerce in the local shops, and then cost reduction, be a lower operational cost because, maybe you're not employing as many people to do this work. And then, we have efficient monitoring and maintenance as part of that as well.
Yeah, and so really this means Vantis isn't just a tool, it's really a way to help businesses grow and communities to thrive. So, how can businesses in your area or organizations in your area really utilize this state-owned system that your taxpayer dollars already pay for to help enable your business to grow? Sorry, I'll let you go again, Kyle.
All right. Yeah, and then the pathway to innovation with Vantis, customized solutions. We can tailor, whatever your unique industry needs is for the system. We can tailor that around to, make sure that your flights take place however you need them. Support and training. We have a excellent support team that will help train your operators and, get them integrated with the system and make sure everything is going seamless. And then just the community synergy, you can join the growing network.
So thank you for having us. Really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for joining us. It's all very insightful, and it's motivating to kind of see what it's going to be in the future. But also I wanted to say a big thank you to our sponsor, which was Train ND Northwest. Kyle, Hunter, you want to say any last words?
Yeah, I just, I want to echo kind of what Greta said. Thank you guys so much for having us. Thank you for giving up your lunch hour for this. I hope it was really informative, and looking forward to staying connected with everyone and helping your businesses grow with the Vantis network.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, everybody have a good rest of your week and be well. Thank you.